common ground. And before we get anything, too nitty gritty or whatever, I did just want to get your initial reflections. Obviously the campaign is over. I wanted to know from your perspective what you think went right and what you think went wrong with the Jorgensen campaign. If you could do it again, if you would handle anything differently, or just general reflections. I'm just interested to hear your thoughts.
I just noticed the vermin shirt. So in general, let's start with what went right from a libertarian perspective. So the number of libertarians, members of the Libertarian Party, grew by almost 50% last year, and that's a record growth that we had. We now have the highest number of libertarians that we've had in our history. The number of registered libertarians went up something like 10%. In all 50 states. This is the second highest vote total we've gotten. More importantly, it's the highest vote total we've gotten during a re-election campaign, a year where a presidential incumbent is running for re-election. It's the gap between the Libertarian Party and the other so-called third parties has widened, and we got third place in all 50 states. So we've really cemented ourselves as the third largest party. I find that completely unacceptable that 50 years later, we're still losing admirably. And I think it just shows that we need to be growing at the grassroots level and looking at candidates, libertarian candidates who do win elections at the local and state level, and emulate what they are doing, continue to grow out those types of successes, and work our way up to where eventually we can make a serious contesting for president. We're required by ballot access laws to keep running presidential candidates in the meantime, which is why we focus primarily on trying to help the down ballot races that could actually win. Now, where did we go wrong? I think the biggest thing that we went wrong on was the way that we did messaging. So, for example, usually to have a successful campaign, and this really isn't even about ideology or anything else. This is just kind of campaigning 101. You have to pick 2 or 3 main things that people are talking about, and you have to really dive into those and have really good messaging on that reflects your beliefs and connects with the people that you're trying to get to vote for you. And you can still have positions on everything else, but you need to wait for people to ask you that. You need to focus primarily on what people were talking about. So for this election season, it was COVID, and healthcare questions related to COVID, because that really goes back to the whole idea of what happens if I get COVID and then I end up with $250,000 in debt as a result of it, and I get financially ruined for the rest of my life. So that just sort of all of the healthcare questions that existed before are now white hot, even more so than they usually are. The lockdowns and the suffering and devastation, both human and economic devastation that was happening as a result of them, and whether you're pro or anti-lockdown, and police brutality, especially during the summer, police brutality and the protests and the riots that happened as a result of that. We had good messages on that connected with people, but the problem was that we didn't focus just on that. We would then talk about ending the wars and bringing the troops home, or ending the war on drugs, or ending the war on guns, or we talked about everything. And I think that was, as libertarians, we tend to want to talk about all our ideas. And I think that what ended up happening was that at the expense of being able to laser focus in on things that would have potentially been able to get us more votes, we actually gave their voters who might have considered us our entire platform, and really gave them a reason to look and go, oh, well, I disagree with you on this one thing, so I'm going to vote for the lesser evil candidate, Trump or Biden, because at least they have more of a shot of winning. So I'm going to vote for someone that I only agree with, 10% of the time or 20% of the time, instead of voting for you that I agree with 95% of the time. So we sort of gave them ammunition against us. Because like you said, we don't agree on 100% of things. So if you look at our stuff and you go, yeah, but we disagree on this, so I'm going to vote for Biden because we have to stop Trump or whatever. We just made it easier for people to have that out. And also because we all have limited resources we're working with, instead of focusing our resources on these are the things we have to hit, this is what people are talking about, this is what's going to go viral and get us media attention, we often allowed ourselves to do what we should be doing right now, which is giving a whole spectrum presentation of our ideas. We did in the playoffs what we should be doing during the off season, basically.